Hey everyone, good afternoon. Welcome to another episode of my daily NBA podcast. Like and subscribe to the channel. Today we're going to talk about the one LeBron lie I can accept as a Jordan fan. Too often we fight, we are going back and forth, but in reality, there's some things that aren't totally false. We always try to say that LeBron is wrong and things are basically he's capping, but there's some things that I think he is capping about that I'm okay with him lying about. So let's go over that. And then there's a second lie that I don't know why people do this. I know why people do this, but another lie that we're going to go over right after that to just counter the acceptance of the first lie to put me back on track to be team Jordan. Anyway, so the lie is around a young LeBron doing maybe some pickup practice with legends when he was 16 years old, and obviously one of the legends was Jordan. The run was led by Tim Grover, who is Jordan's personal trainer. He's also Wade's personal trainer. I think he also trained Kobe, so he trained the greats. And LeBron entering the practice and how he fared amongst those legends. So let me play a recording by Antoine Walker.
Them first 5 or 6 games where the runs are intense and you're going at it, he wasn't a part of those. He got to play kind of towards the end of the runs when he first came in. But you can see the potential. Obviously, when he was playing, you could see it. But as far as dominating or anything like that, no, that wasn't the case.
Who guarded you?
Nobody. I was unguardable.
So that is a controversy that we've been debating on our wall. Again, our group is 2MW Sports 360. We're primarily on Facebook, but this is our YouTube channel. And I am Trisha Joy. So was that a lie? Okay, so here's the thing. Of course he didn't dominate as a 16-year-old. Of course Antoine Walker is right. By the time he came into the runs, they had already played 5 or 6 games. These guys were tired. So he definitely came into the practice when these players weren't at their best. Maybe they were a little bit tired. With that said, I'm okay with LeBron lying about this. I'm okay with LeBron lying about dominating them, because here's why. Picture yourself as a 16-year-old, right? 16-year-old you get invited to a basketball run where you get to play with MJ, Antoine Walker, other legends that you look up to. At 16 years old, even just catching a rebound, even just catching a layup, there's nothing you can't tell me I dominated. That is a dream that you would never expect to have. Even though he was that good as a youngster, I am still saying that I dominated that game, regardless of how many points are scored and what was the amount of buckets. So honestly, that is a LeBron lie I can get behind. As a kid, you remember that milestone moment as the best moment in your life, and regardless of how you performed, yeah, you killed it. So that is one LeBron lie I can get behind. Now let's get to the second one. So we're always talking about the Cleveland Cavaliers team that he so-called dragged to the finals, and that how they were garbage. And that is categorically false. And I've seen LeBron talk about this 2007 Cavs team like they were Like, they weren't great. And unfortunately, I don't think you should talk about your teammates like that, but what can you do? So he's kind of reinforcing that this 2007 Cavaliers team was not great and that he dragged them to the finals. And I just want to actually look at that team together because, to be honest, although they weren't household names, I would say that Danny Ainge did a hell of a job putting together a team of people that you would not suspect would be good together. And that's why they ended up in the NBA Finals. All right. It was a product of a good general manager, good executive, really sitting down and assessing the skills of a bunch of players that you wouldn't suspect is good and actually making it work. So let me sit down for a little bit and keep knocking down this thing one day. I gotta pull my chair forward, but let's take a look at that 2007 Cleveland Cavaliers team. By the way, like and subscribe to the channel. We go over NBA topics. So let's see if we have it here. So I don't know if you can see it, but this is a breakdown from Basketball Reference of all the players on that 2007 2008 Cleveland Cavaliers team. All right, so right here you'll see 15 players that went in and out of this squad for that season. But I want to make sure we look at the right numbers to assess whether or not these players were trash. So let's go over the players first. As you can see, there's LeBron, right? Iggy, Danielle, Larry Hughes, Drew Gooden, Sasha, Shannon Brown, Damon Jones, Anderson Varejao, Daniel Gibson, Eric Snow. All these people were on the Cavs that went to the NBA Finals and ultimately lost to the Spurs. Now, I want you to look at how I'm looking at these numbers. All right, first we're in the section. Let's just look at their per game average to see why this lie has been perpetuated, but it's actually not true. So if you look at the roster, you'll see, okay, LeBron James had 27 points per game. He's supposed to do that. Like, he's the leader of the team. And then you have Larry Hughes with 14, Drew Gooden with 11, Iggy with 11, and Anderson Varejao with 6. And so when you look at those per game averages, you're like, oh yeah, they really did suck, Trisha. Like, what are you talking about, right? But let's dig a little bit deeper. You see, if you look at the per 36, right, there is where you see the real data. If you look at what their average is per 36 minutes, you'll see that this Cleveland Cavaliers team had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 players that averaged double digits. That is phenomenal. But you look at the names and you're like, who is Ibra? We all knew Shannon Brown, but these did not look like people that you would call household names. But looking at their per 36 stats, you'll see that they actually were good at what they did, and they were actually the perfect pieces to help LeBron ultimately get as far as he could. Now, why did they lose? I mean, the Spurs are the Spurs, but they were good enough to get to the finals, and it wasn't LeBron dragging them. They were actually seasoned professionals that, if you look deep in the numbers, were producing. They were helping. So that's the LeBron lie I can't get behind. The first one was the one I could, but this one, don't talk about these players. Don't talk about the 2007 Cavaliers like they're garbage, because they weren't garbage. They actually were pretty good. Um, Before we go, I want to talk about the card or the player that I picked that to talk about on a daily basis. Ugh, I don't know if you could see it here, but I picked Jimmy Butler randomly from my pack. And so the random Jimmy Butler thought I want to give for today is this. I think Jimmy Butler actually really needs to. He's doing great, by the way. So let me not start off like a disrespect. Jimmy Butler is doing great on Golden State. He's definitely helping Golden State progress. But I think he needs to step it up a little bit more. We need to differentiate him from Draymond Green. It seems like both produce the same kind of production for Golden State, but the main difference is that Draymond Green is a force to reckon with on the defensive side, and he clearly was for most of his career. He was second in Defensive Player of the Year his third season. He was Defensive Player of the Year in his fifth season, and he's been ranked pretty regularly from since then. So he's actually proving his worth. And like, although Jimmy Butler's leadership, although your leadership is invaluable, the Golden State Warriors are $30 million over the salary cap. And so if they want to avoid any luxury taxes, they're going to have to start getting rid of people. So I just looked at Jimmy Butler's contract. Golden State can trade him around August. So unless they win the championship this year, look for those Jimmy Butler to be traded rumors to happen through the summer. And unfortunately, obviously it's hard to win a championship, but unfortunately, if he doesn't prove monetarily why it's worth going into the luxury tax even further for more time, then you might as well just cut your losses and trade him away. And Draymond Green, even though I believe Jimmy Butler is better than Draymond Green is more cost effective for the situation. So hopefully Jimmy Butler can figure out a way to stick with that team. Anyway, that was the one lie I could get behind for LeBron, the one lie I couldn't get behind for LeBron, and my daily Jimmy Butler tip, which I have to give. But like and subscribe to the channel, and hopefully I see you tomorrow.